And what's going on, guys? It's EP from the Coach's Vault. I have a very special guest here. Michelle is here.
What's up, guys?
So we also have Marcus, and we also have Terrence. I was gonna say your last name. I totally blanked on your last name. I'm totally sorry for that.
Okay. Me?
Yes, you're totally. I told you I was gonna go full last name, and I just totally blanked on it. So I did mess up, Marcus. You're welcome. Okay, you messed me up. You got me on my flow. Okay.
Shame on you. Shame on you.
Michele Frankel.
So Michele Frankel is here with us today.
Hey Evan.
I really appreciate you coming on. Can you stop talking? Can I go on now?
No, I'm just letting you know if you forget, the name is at the bottom of the screen on her name. Just letting you know that.
Okay,
yeah, for some reason mine comes up as Randy Frankel, so sorry about that.
Okay, it's fine. It's fine. All right, Michele Frankel. Thank you, Marcus, for letting me know how it goes. Anyway, okay. So again, I really appreciate you coming on today. So why don't we just get the ball rolling? All right, let's talk about you. Who are you as a person? What do you do? And how did you get into the fitness world? Stuff like that.
Yo, I'm so bad at talking about myself, but here we go. So my name is Michele. I do lots of things, but I'm a IFBB Pro figure competitor, and I am a business owner. Yeah. I'm a business owner. I own RevolutioniZe Nutrition in Manalapan, New Jersey. I'm an athlete for Apollon Nutrition, and I have all sorts of hobbies. I have a jack of all trades, if you will.
Okay, that's awesome.
That's pretty dope. That's pretty dope.
Basically does everything. And
I do a lot. Every time I do something else, people are like, "You do that too?" I'm like, "Yeah. Why limit yourself to one thing? Have fun with lots of things."
I'm with that.
Right?
Exactly. Never be a guru of anything. Be a generalist. The world's gonna be yours. That's all it is.
It keeps life very interesting. Very, very interesting.
Yeah, of course. All right. So Terrence, you got all the questions. Why don't you get the ball rolling, man?
I do, sir. But I do want to say this is dope. We have our first female guest, and we have our first nutrition guru as our guest. So that is very awesome, which leads right into our first question. So what got you really into the science of wanting to learn about nutrition?
All right. So, I mean, if you take it all the way back, I mean, I used to be that person that would read magazines, mainstream media, and fall into all the traps that most people do. And, I was never getting the results I wanted. I always wanted to have more muscle on my body. I always wanted to have that lean body. I don't know. I wanted things a little bit differently than everybody. I wanted to be strong. I wanted to be bigger. And I went to school for health and exercise science with a specialization in athletic nutrition.
Oh, nice.
And I was originally going to go more of the educational route for schools. And it turned out I didn't really want to be in the school system. And I always liked starting my own thing. I was a personal trainer for 7 years, I'd say. And, all my clients, they would get faster and stronger and more agile, but they weren't seeing those aesthetic changes that they wanted. And they were all eating healthy, good, well, clean, organic. I mean, you throw any healthy buzzword out there you can, and their bodies weren't changing as far as really appearances go. And, at that time I was like, we got to pull the nutrition aspect into this. And at the same time, I could still be an educator, not in a school system, but educate people on the scientific foundations of nutrition without having people fall into those yo-yo dieting traps, those mainstream media traps. And we decided to open up a nutrition company and go that route. So we started doing the flexible nutrition approach, which was freaking awesome. The clients were optimizing their fat loss, holding on to lean mass or putting on lean mass. And we started, instead of being personal trainers, we started partnering with personal trainers and gyms. So I said, you are going to be the professionals for the fitness aspect, and we'll be the professionals for the nutrition aspect. And bringing those two professions together was outstanding. And all these clients started leaning out, getting stronger, feeling better, and not feeling restricted in their food choices, and still being able to live and have fun. And it's been really cool, and just word of mouth traveled, and boom, 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 here we are now.
Oh, that's incredible.
Yeah,
so
cool.
When you say you, meaning you have a business partner, do you want to go into how you met your business partner and how this whole RevolutioniZe nutrition started?
Yeah, dude. So when me and Randy were we were both personal trainers at a gym, and we worked together for a couple of years, and we never spoke a word to each other. And he was in a relationship, I was in a relationship at the time. Both those relationships ended, and we just became friends. And I had no intentions of a relationship at all. He thought differently. And we became friends. like strictly just friends, and we started working together a little bit more, and then that evolved, and I had wanted to do my first NPC figure competition.
Oh,
and
nice.
He was, you know, trying to be a guy trying to impress a girl. He's like, yo, I'll coach you. And I was like, oh, okay. And he coached me. We ended up doing that flexible nutrition approach, and people thought we were freaking crazy. They're like, you can't compete without eating cod and tilapia and asparagus and chicken and broccoli. And I'm like, no, scientifically proven, like you can eat so many other things and not have to rely on the same freaking food every day. And on top of it, possibly develop an eating disorder. So we did this approach, and I got freaky shredded. I mean, we were just wanting to kind of experiment. Like I was just an experiment. And I entered my first competition, my NPC competition in 2013. It was the Mid-Atlantic Natural Classic, and I took the whole show. I won the overall. And all of a sudden people were like, yo, what'd you do? And I was like, you all hated on me for what I was doing, and here you are asking for advice. But, we were cool, and we were like, well, we can teach you. And at that time, me and Randy were like, dude, we did this for me. I felt awesome. I had great results. I had a very healthy, positive, good mindset, and still do to this day. We can do this with everyday people. And we did. We started doing it with our clients that we worked with at the gym. Again, the word just spread, and we were like, we need to start a business. Like, fuck it, let's go. So we started RevolutioniZe. We chose the word revolutionize because we really wanted to bring about a change, bring about something new in this industry, because the industry is the same old, like, abs in 5 minutes and, this diet and that diet. And we hated it. And people truly in this country are so obsessed with feasting and then not like totally restricting. Mm-hmm. So we really wanted to revolutionize the industry and revolutionize people's bodies and how they think about everything. So that's kind of how we came up with that. And yeah, it honestly just grew from there. And then my partner ended up becoming my boyfriend, became my fiance. He actually proposed to me at my attempt at nationals in 2014 at the NPC Universe. And he proposed to me in front of like thousands of people. And I was kind of put on the spot and possibly carb depleted. And I got suckered into saying yes. When really I was just saying yes. I was just like, yes, get me a drink. I'm very thirsty right now. And
is this an onion? Can I eat this?
I was scared. He was on his knee in front of thousands of people. He was like, will you marry me? And I looked at him. I'm like, what? And he said it again. And I said, what again? And I'm surrounded by people. People were like, say yeah, girl. Say yeah. And I was like, yeah? Like, with a question mark. And everybody's cheering. And I'm in my head, I'm panicking. I'm like, yo, my parents don't even know that this guy just proposed to me. Like, did he ask my dad? Did he ask my family? And I'm freaking out what they're going to say. And I walked out from backstage, and they were all there with signs, like screaming for us and stuff. And I was like, oh, okay. So that was kind of a sigh of relief, but like a lot of pressure. Yeah. And so, yeah, that was that. And then, yeah, so now we're married.
Well, so I actually thought you guys were married before you opened a business. I didn't know you guys were business partners before.
We did everything the wrong way.
It turned out to be the right way.
We did everything backwards.
Yeah. Hey, there's no such thing as the wrong way at all.
That's very true.
We found our way.
It's a different way. A different way. Yeah, different way.
So did you go through those periods like early on in the business to where like some of the hardships to where you didn't know if maybe this is what you still wanted to do?
Oh yeah. So I wouldn't say it's what I wanted to do. Yeah. But it's what it was, are we doing things the right way? More on the business back end of things. The approach, that's what we do. We do the flexible nutrition approach, the scientific based approach. It was more of the back end business stuff of how we structured things. And hell yeah, we learned along the way. There were definitely some fudge ups and some learning experiences from that. And we altered things as we went through it throughout the years. And it brought us to where we are right now, and where we are right now and where we have been probably for the last 3 years is where we want to be as far as the business approach. And we love it. We keep things very transparent. We aren't, I'm trying to find the right word. We're not, I'm at a loss for the right word. We're very transparent, very chill, very laid back, very real. And that's the vibe I want to have forever. I don't want to change that because it attracts the people that we want to work with. Mm-hmm. And I wouldn't have it any other way.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
I
awesome.
I think that becomes a struggle where you're just, some people are trying to find everybody and help everybody, but like
Can't do it.
kind of get lost in their own words, and it never works
Yep.
out that way. You have to kind of find your niche and then go from there.
Can't do it. We've had some people try to influence our approach, to take a slightly different approach, and it's just not me. And I'm going to be honest with you, I can't fake it. I can't fake it. I mean, I could if I wanted to, but it just doesn't feel authentic and real. And I don't ever want to put that vibe out there. Yeah. And I want to attract people who are on the same level as me. It makes things just so much more comfortable. And that's what I want. I want a group of people that is just comfortable, a community of people that just is cool, gets it, and supports one another. Super positive and supportive community that we have. I'm proud of that. Yeah.
So that kind of goes into even thinking about how you want to create a staff, right? So like, how does that work with even you hiring other nutritionists to be on your team?
I'm going to tell you that's one of the hardest things to do, because you need to hire people who have the same passion and knowledge, and you need people that care about it as much as you do. And it's hard to find any employee that will care about a business as much as the owner does, the person who put all their money and their chances and their risks out there. But listen, we when I was talking about those learning experiences, we had to learn along the way of what we did and didn't want. Whatever choices we made got us to where we are today, so I don't regret anything. But I have to tell you that the staff that we have right now, and they've been with us for, a couple have been with us for 3 years now, and some of them just came on board in the last year. Oh my God, they are just incredible staff that we have. We make sure that they have to have their degrees. They all have graduated college in nutrition and dietetics. And they need to have good organizational skills. They have to have a friendly demeanor, a very welcoming demeanor. Like, when it comes to nutrition, and it's similar in the fitness industry also, you are dealing with people who feel very vulnerable. They're very scared. They're opening up about their deepest insecurities. So the second they come into that office, they need a friendly face. They need somebody to make them feel comfortable and calm and chill. We're not a pushy environment. We're not a salesy environment. I want people to be there and feel, all right, I'm okay, I'm in good hands, you know? Yeah. So I need to make sure that they have that demeanor and that compassion when they're talking to other people, and they do. I mean, every day I'm receiving emails from members that are just so happy with their nutritionist. They're happy with their progress, and they're just happy with the whole structure of the business. I just want to make sure everybody's taken care of in every way, you know, mentally and physically.
Yeah, it's funny because people come to you for the service, but they stay for like the people that come in. I always say, like, when people are looking for the training service, but they always stay for the trainer, right? So
it's relationships.
It is relationships.
And these girls, I mean, our staff really becomes our family in that sense. Like, the girls reach out to me every day for their personal struggles and whatnot. And mental health is a huge aspect with our clients, and it's also a huge aspect with our employees. So I want to make sure our employees are taken care of on that mental health aspect as well, and know that they can talk to me, and that there's compromises and ways we can work through things together.
Yeah. So that was a good point. What did you say, Evan?
I think that's huge, especially right now with the environment and everything. Like,
it's
huge. And like, if you have that structure beforehand, you know what I mean, and it just transitions and it melds. You know what I mean, people don't leave a boss who's somebody like you that actually like gives their heart and soul to their clients. You know what I mean? And like, that's even more important. That's where they kind of feel it. It goes from the top. You know what I mean? It bleeds from the top to the bottom. You know what I mean?
Totally. Awesome. I mean, let's put it this way. My husband struggles with mental illness. Two of my employees struggle with anxiety and depression. And just as it was a transition coming into quarantine, it is also going to be a massive transition for people to come out of quarantine. You do have people that are like, yeah, I'm going back to work. And you have other people that are, they're not good with change. Yeah. So what we're doing for a couple of our girls is we're giving them the choice for the first couple of weeks. Yes, I have to run a business, but I'm giving them the choice to work maybe like half their hours from home and half their hours from work, and slowly kind of wean them back into working full-time in the office. And they're so appreciative of that. And I'm glad that they're appreciative of that. You know, we got to compromise a little bit. And it was actually quite an easy compromise to do with them. So.
But you landed right into a good topic. So how do you guys managing with the COVID, like with the quarantine, and like what are some things that you're doing differently that you're working with your clients about?
Talk about having the ability to adapt. That's one thing that I do have, and that I tell people you have to have the ability to do in times of anything. But when quarantine happened, the good thing about Rev is that we do work with clients all around the world. England, I mean, all over the place.
Oh,
so
man.
we do have we're able to talk to people virtually. So what we did is we just took all of our clients and said, hey, we're going virtual. What ended up happening, it wasn't an error on our end. What ended up happening is so many of our members got laid off their jobs.
Yeah.
So we lost, not canceled, but we had a lot of memberships get frozen. So even though we were still able to give them all of our service, they weren't able to afford it, obviously. So that being said, I didn't want these people to just disappear and not still have us. So even though their memberships are frozen, me and Randy started doing live streams. We were doing live streams on our RevolutioniZe Instagram and Facebook, probably 4 nights a week. And then I was like, yo, we're running out of topics. And so we went down to like 2 to 3 times a week, and I still do them. I live stream for everybody. I focus on different hot topics that people are asking. And I also ask our followers, what's something you want us to discuss? And it'll be anywhere from 20 minutes to an hour, depending on the topic. And people are able to tune in. They're all able to comment in the comment section, and it just brings everybody together and keeps them on track. And that's another huge compliment that we got from our members. They were so thankful that we did that. I'm like, yo, I'm not leaving you guys like out there. Like, I want to still be able to help whether you're a member or not a member. So even non-members or people who froze their membership still had all of our resources to be able to use.
Wow.
What are you? Oh no, just ask like, with this whole quarantine, how are you holding like a lot of people accountable? You know what I mean? With everything, so it's so easy to indulge in all the food in your house. So like, what are you doing about that?
I mean, so everybody that we work with is very different. We have people that are overindulging. We have people that are not eating. So when they're dealing with stress, you have the stress eaters and the stress undereaters. You have people that are dehydrated. You have people with their physical activity levels coming down. So the strategies we have to use are very different for each person. Some people can handle tough love, for instance, and others you really have to be very delicate with. So there's not one answer for that, which is crazy to say. Our brains are constantly like, okay, how do I modify what I'm about to say for this specific person? So with the accountability, depending on who they're working with and their nutritionist, whatever their struggle is, they have daily accountability with their nutritionist. They do not have to wait a week for their session. They can reach out to us anytime. The only time we're not going to answer is if we're sleeping. So the staff has been really, really great with being attentive to all the clients' needs. And like I said, there's not one strategy for every person. The only thing I'm going to tell everybody, I go, if you're having an issue, you reach out to us. Whatever it is, don't sit there and let it fester in your head for a whole week. Reach out to us, and we will sit and come up with a strategy for you specifically in what you're dealing with. So the accountability, like you had brought up, again, people are just so thankful. They're like, I would not have been able to make it through this without having my meetings with you on live stream, without meeting with you for a phone call, without talking to Kelsey or Rebecca. They had us at every angle through this. And then I was doing curbside pickup too. So sometimes people will come pick up snacks from the storefront, and like I'll hang out with them for 5 minutes outside and kind of help them with their troubles.
That's awesome.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's awesome. It's the kind of thing where in the beginning quarantine, I was kind of thinking about the same thing. People aren't going to remember like the 5-minute workouts, these like programs and all this, like the little meaning, like people are going to remember something that was meaningful, like what you're doing for each one of your clients. Like the live stream stuff is awesome. Like all that stuff means that you care, and people see that. And then at the end of the day, when this quarantine's over, more people are going to come to you because they understand that you care. I think that's just awesome.
That means a lot. And yeah, I care so much, man. It's a problem.
A blessing and a curse, man.
It is a blessing and a curse, but I take it more of a blessing any day. Any day that I can help somebody through a struggle, or just simply make them laugh or smile, like that's a win, you know?
That's awesome.
Oh, absolutely. The one thing that quarantine did good for all of us, though, like I think it forced us a different way to engage with our audience. Oh, yeah. And just like, I think a lot of people, especially if you're doing it the right way, like how you're showing that you care, I think you're probably going to walk away with more like lifelong clients than probably that you even walked in with, because they're seeing the extra mile that you went for them during this time. So now it's like that love and that appreciation that they have for you is going to be top notch.
For sure. And I'm seeing it. So like I was saying before, I work with a lot of other gym owners and trainers, and we've been trying to shout them out and share their things, because the trainers are going above and beyond as well, doing whatever they can, you know, and it's so tough for them. I mean, I'm feeling so much for like the gym community right now.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, it's rough.
Yeah, it is very rough.
It's so rough.
But what's good about quarantine is not good about quarantine. I don't want to say there's anything good about it, but if you're going to take anything from it, people learned, trainers and gym owners learned new skills and new ways to connect with their clients.
Yeah.
And they've created apps, they've created new websites. It allowed them to push their own limits as an owner or a trainer, which is pretty cool. And they've been so positive about it. They're like, you know what? I don't regret that part of it. They're like, these are skills that I can use to help people around the world now, and not just people that live in a 5-mile radius of my gym.
Mm-hmm.
So that's pretty cool.
Honestly, quarantine is how this started, to be honest.
That's a perfect example. Perfect example.
Mm-hmm.
I love it.
Yeah.
So what would you say some of the big issues that you run into for clients? Maybe like more some of the popular issues when it comes to like nutrition, or just even people's views of like how to eat?
I'd say one of the biggest, you have to have an open mind, first of all, and not everybody does. And retraining people's way of thinking when it comes to nutrition. Everybody's so trained to think good food, bad food.
Yeah.
Like, this food is going to help me, and this food's going to ruin me. And that's not true at all. I go, okay, so ice cream, for instance, I go, did you have a half a cup of ice cream, and did it fit into what's allotted for the day, or did you sit there and eat a gallon of ice cream? So moderation is a big thing. The all or nothing mentality is a huge issue. Even I use myself as an example for this, because as a professional figure competitor, you have to have that like all in mentality, right? But there's a safe way of doing it and not becoming obsessive. If I happen to have some sort of slip up or something happens, I have the ability to be like, all right, I moved on. It's okay, you know? Not everybody has the ability to do that. If they have a slip up, they say, screw it, I'm done. And they throw the towel in and they're over it. You can't have that. You have to have a lot of persistence. You have to have the ability to move on from any slip ups, because no one's perfect, man. I'm not a machine either. You know, I have days where I'm like, yo, I want a brownie. And you can have a brownie without having 10 brownies. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
a lot of it's moderation. A lot of it's just the all or nothing mentality is dangerous for a lot of people when it comes to nutrition.
Yeah, over time and experience, you start to learn that. Because I definitely had that all or nothing mentality when I was younger.
Yeah, it's like, let's use a sleeve of Oreos. I'm not even an Oreo eater, but people always talk about Oreos. You know, I go, okay, did you have 2 cookies? Great, you made it work. Or did you say screw it and you now go into a binge and you eat the whole thing of cookies? Yeah. That's where you run into issues. When in the end, I'm just gonna say, okay, you had 2 cookies, cool, let's move on. You know. So it's just developing a healthy relationship, because unfortunately the nutrition industry is filled with very unhealthy relationships with food, and it's demonizing food. Everything is binging and restricting. Yeah. So that's a tough.
Yeah. Fear's a good seller. That's the thing. It's like, you don't eat this, I'll tell you exactly what to eat. And like, it's just a good sell for people. And that's unfortunate, because that's just not the right way to do anything.
Yeah. And a lot of it's easy. Like, we don't take the easy route. We're not like, here's your meal plan, just eat this and that's all you can eat forever. Like, no, we don't do that. We actually I'm going to be honest with you guys, we hate meal plans because there's no education in it. If you show up to work and you forgot all the meals that you prepped at home, what are you going to do? I want you to know what to be able to do. If for meal 3, chicken and broccoli is on your meal plan and you're like, I can't eat chicken and broccoli, I'm going to throw up. Again, I want you to know what to be able to do. So that's, again, why we do that flexible nutrition approach, is so you have so many options and an education for the rest of your life. You don't have to go back to that meal plan over and over again.
That is definitely something that, as a trainer, oh my God, I want to strangle people for. Like, all you hear is like, when you're training somebody new, is like, oh, okay, you give me my workouts, and what should I eat? I don't know. What do you like to eat?
And that's an example.
That's exactly what I tell everybody.
That's a perfect example. Like, so you go, okay, I'll make you a meal plan. And what if you put salmon on the meal plan? And they're like, I don't like salmon. Well, you have to eat the salmon. Like, no, that's not how this works. You know?
And that's like the one thing that like I hate when you're on social media and then you have all these people popping up like, yeah, get you this meal plan. I'm like, but you don't know what this person likes. Like you're putting foods down that you like.
But what's worse is that you don't know what the problems with these people are. You don't know if they're diabetic. You don't know if they have like an eating deficiency. You don't know if they have like some food like allergy and stuff like that. Like, and they're just giving the plan. You know what I mean? Without any knowledge of that.
Sometimes you can add to the problem.
Yes. And unfortunately in this industry, and I hate to say it, I'm not calling anybody out specifically, but I have seen pros even. People that are like, they're like, well, this meal plan worked for me, so you can have it too. And they're just giving other people their meal plans.
It definitely doesn't work that way.
and they're selling it for $500. I'm like,
yep. All the time.
And it's dangerous. Unfortunately, there's a very dark and dangerous side to this industry, and we're trying to change that as much as we can. You know.
Oh, I love that, man. Well, that can take us back into your competitive history, right? When's the last time you competed?
So I competed 2018. I took last year off for personal reasons. I had to take care of some things and I'll be the first to say, hey, I can't handle this year. I competed 7 years in a row, and I just needed to focus on the business. And I knew I wasn't going to be able to prioritize my time and some other personal things. And then this year, I had planned on competing again. And just as I was about to start a prep, COVID hit. And I was like, oh! So honestly, this is a good year to not compete. We'll see what next year brings. But right now, I'm just kind of rolling with the punches. I've been fine in quarantine. Like I said, I have so many freaking hobbies. I'm a musician. I skateboard. I do all this stuff. And I've been perfectly content not being in the gym, to be totally honest with you guys.
Yeah. It feels
how's your training now with being in COVID? Do you have like a gym set up or?
So no. This pro's got nothing. When we were at our old location, old RevolutioniZe, we had moved in 2018. That was part of the reason why I couldn't compete. The moving process was crazy. We had a full gym there, and I sold all the gym equipment at the end of last year. And I'm like,
oh, wow.
I had everything, a full gym. And we had sold it. And so right now, I just have my TRX suspension cable, which I forgot I even had. I haven't used that since like 2012. And I've just been using that, some pull-ups, push-ups, and honestly just been doing a lot of stuff outside, some outside labor, just walking, skateboarding, like stuff like that. And I've been perfectly content. And listen, if my body's not the same at the end of quarantine, I don't give a crap. The gym's always going to be there. I'll be okay. My weight has maintained completely. Maybe my composition may have shifted a little bit, but it's not one of those things I obsess about. I don't just look at myself in the mirror every day like, yo, this vein is different. I'm fine, you know.
Marcus.
So, is that Marcus?
I compete, so yeah, I'm with you on
that. Marcus, I'm telling you, and I tell everybody the same thing. I go, when the gym opens, 1 week into being on track and getting the pump in and seeing that little bicep vein come back, people are going to be like, yes, it'll come back faster than people realize. I'm telling you, once the nutrition and the training is back and you feel that first pump, everybody's going to be feeling pretty good.
Oh yeah, definitely. And like for myself, I was able to find somewhere where I can work out, luckily. So that's like for me, like mentally getting out the house just to go work out, I think it has been like the best thing ever. I know for a lot of people that it's a little different, but I think that, you know, if a lot of people can just get the eating portion under control, everything else is going to fall right in line, because I think that's definitely where, like, you know, that's where everybody falls down and you know, they hit rock bottom. You know, I call it the quarantine 15 to the quarantine 30.
Going up.
Each month another 15. It's gonna be 45 if you gotta stay there another month.
Exactly, like
45 pounds of solid mass.
Yeah, exactly.
All muscle.
Well, what's great about quarantine, like the silver line, like there's a whole bunch of silver lines. You really gotta think about it. You have like no excuse for time to not focus on like the proper diet, proper nutrition. You know what I mean? Asking these kind of questions to people. You know what I mean? Like people who get the quarantine 15 are just not, that's just not their, they don't have a priority to do that. And that's just unfortunate because they have the time to. You know what I mean?
Right. And that's a perfect example of what we ran into, how all of our clients are so different. So we have clients that have so much time on their hands. They go, you got no excuse. You can meal prep, you can do everything, and they are killing it. And then we have clients that are still working full time, now have 3 kids at home that they have to teach school to. Those were the tough ones.
Yeah.
So that was tough. Yeah. And we still figured it out. They did great. They had all the accountability, and we had to just create some new structure for them. But it doesn't mean it wasn't a challenge for them, but they overcame it, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Actually, I would love to hear more about the clients that you have that say that they're too busy to meal prep. How do you go about with that? Because I hear that all the time.
It's common. All the time. Everybody's got an excuse for everything. so the first thing we have to, we're kind of like, as nutritionists, we're counselors and we're kind of therapists also. So first of all, we got to figure out, what's the why? Do you really want to do this? If it's a priority to you, then you can make it happen, and we'll help you make it happen. Time management skills, we have to teach people how to time manage, because a lot of people don't have that. But the first thing is this actually important for you? What is the real reason why we're doing this? It's never because I want to lose weight. There's always a deeper seated reason to that. If you can get to that, then you can really uncover a lot. In addition to that, besides that and time management, if you don't want to meal prep, everybody has a freaking meal prep service these days. So there's so many meal prep services. We work with Eat Clean Bro personally, and they give you bulk food. You can get a pound of chicken, a pound of asparagus, a pound of broccoli, and have everything waiting for you in your refrigerator. So if time truly is kicking your butt, well, they can deliver it right to your door, and you can have all your meals prepped and ready to go. And then we help you separate it and structure it from there.
Love that. Love that, because you definitely hear so many people, and that's their big excuse, that don't have enough time to cook, and then it's like, but you have enough time to watch TV, watch a football game on Sunday. But
don't talk about football. Don't talk about football.
They're scrolling on TikTok, they're scrolling on Instagram, they're watching TV. I'm like, what are you doing? You're just prioritizing the TV or your phone instead of prioritizing your goals in your body that you claim that you want to achieve, So sometimes there's a little bit of a rude awakening there that we got to do with people.
Yeah, sometimes people don't even realize they're wasting the time, which is the real issue right there too.
Yeah, and like I told you guys, we are not hard sellers. Like if you don't want to be there or somebody's forcing you to be there, we don't want to force you to be there. So there have been plenty of times where people have come to Rev, and it's excuse after excuse after excuse after excuse, and we just simply say to them, I don't think you're ready. And be like, listen, there's a ton of resources that we put out there for free for everybody. When you're ready, we'll be here, but I want you to go home and think about it. We will never have anybody sign their name to a contract or sign their name to anything before really being ready. Because honestly, that makes our lives a living hell.
Oh my God.
We want to work with people who want to work with us. So that's another kind of like philosophy of our business that we stand by.
I love the fact that you deter people. Tell people to like, look, you're not ready for it, because I feel like that drives somebody to be like, hold on, you can't tell me that I'm not ready. And now it kind of forces them to actually want to do it now.
It gives us like, you'll be like, now I have to prove you wrong. Yeah, I'm gonna prove you wrong.
Reverse psychology, I love it.
And it happens sometimes. And other people, you know what? They take us 3 months. They'll hit us up and they're like, okay, I am ready now. Because you don't want to deal with people battling you or having excuses or being super negative. You also don't want to have to deal with somebody being like, it didn't work for me, I want a refund.
Yeah.
No, it didn't work because you didn't do the program. We don't want to run into those problems. So we kind of set everything up so we never have to run into those problems. And honestly, it's worked for years and years.
That's great. I mean, if people just start with people that they want, and then kind of that's like a great, like, forward thinking plan. It's an amazing plan just for a business standpoint in itself.
Well, you know what? I used to, I used to be a personal trainer, and it was hard sales. And this one guy, he had some sales tactics that I was uncomfortable with. And I'm like, how would I feel if somebody did that to me? And I go, I wouldn't buy. I wouldn't work with them. Absolutely not. So I never wanted to create an environment or a business structure that can lead to somebody questioning something like that. Like I said, I want people to be there because they want to be there. I want them to feel comfortable.
Yeah.
Integrity is everything, man.
It is.
All it is. Man.
So do you have a soft opening happening for Rev soon?
Yeah, so basically next week, starting June 1st, we're going to do scans only for all of our members and non-members. So June 1st, Friday, June 5th, and Saturday, June 6th, we'll have the scan rooms open. Then the week of June 8th, that's when our nutritionists are going to come into the office and start meeting with people in person instead of over the phone. So it's weaning everybody, the clients back in and making sure all of our systems are in place, and also weaning the staff in to make sure they're mentally like able to handle it, you know? Yeah. So baby steps. I told the girls, I go, first we just need to stand up, then we can walk, and then we can run, you know?
It's a good mentality.
Yeah.
Is there anything that you're going to do different now that, like, when we do get back to running businesses, you know, normally, with what you've been doing in quarantine? Are you adding anything in differently, or are you just going to kind of go back to how you were running before?
So we're going to go back, but give people these options, especially in the beginning, because some clients aren't going to want to come in, to let them know they still have all of our virtual services. We're going to keep all of those live streams going, even though we're back in the office. And business constantly evolves. I'm sure even new ideas might pop up a month from now. You know what I mean? We were going to start a podcast. Instead of podcasting, we just went right to just virtual, because I said, why not let people see us also, you know?
Yeah, that's cool.
But yeah, so we're going to kind of play it by ear and see what happens. I'm always a very like open-minded person, and I'm always willing to hear other ideas and bounce ideas around with people. So I always tell my staff too, I go, if you guys have ideas, tell me. I don't know everything. I make sure I hire a staff that's smarter than me.
Yes. You can't have a bunch of yous on your team.
No. I go, you're smarter than me, you're hired.
Oh, that's awesome. So how'd you get affiliated with Apollon? Because that's how I know of you.
Yeah. So the Apollon family is just awesome, aren't they?
Yeah, I love them.
They're awesome.
I hate Rob, but I love everybody else. I hope Rob hears this.
I have a question. Is it Apollon or Apollon? Because you pronounce it
Apollon. I say Apollon. As long as you don't say Apollon, we're okay.
Apollon.
Don't say Apollon.
Okay. So I'm going to be honest. I can't remember exactly how it started. I don't remember if Rob reached out prior to me I went pro in 2017 at NPC Universe. That was my third attempt. And I can't remember if he touched base beforehand or after, but after I went pro, he started kind of like scouting me out.
Yeah, that's Rob.
I was like, what does this guy want? Like, I can't really tell. And I was like, I feel like he's scouting me out. Like, does he want me to be an athlete? Does he just want to be a friend? Like, I can't really. And after probably a few months of us just like talking and bullshitting and whatnot, he goes, so I want you on the team. I'm like, okay. And I was like, you want me to be ambassador? He's like, no, I want you to be the athlete. I was like, okay. So yeah, he brought me on board. I met everybody. Because I have a storefront, it's really cool because I can sell a lot of the products there. And it's not just like, I just sell your products. Like, I use them, I stand by them. They are my favorite products I have ever used. And they're the only products I use now, to be honest.
Same.
And yeah, same. So yeah, we just developed like a great friendship, a business relationship, a real life friendship, and the family, all of them, they're phenomenal. And we've been together ever since. So.
Oh, that's awesome, man.
Yeah.
Shout out to my Apollon family.
Man.
Yeah, Rob, Alina, Carolina, Marina, all them.
Yeah, I've been at that gym. You been there before?
Yeah, been there a couple times. Miss it though.
Yeah, I've been there since probably like 2012, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how long I've been at Apollon.
Oh my God. Yeah, they're great there.
I literally grew up in that gym.
Yeah. But yeah, Rob's awesome. He brought me on board and I was like, let's do this. And he liked my personality for like videos and stuff too. So
yeah.
I'm good for film. I'm not good for pictures because every time somebody takes a snapshot of me, I'm like, because I have a very animated face.
I'm the same way.
My face is too animated for still shots. I'm always in some sort of awkward position.
Is she constipated? I can't tell if she's constipated. I don't want to.
But yeah, so that's how that happened.
Oh, that's beautiful. Love it. You guys got any other questions for us? You pretty much answered all mine.
No, I love the business model.
Yeah, that's fucking incredible. That's what I really wanted to hear about too, just how you really interact with your clients and how you run it. It's really, really, really.
So here's something also. So when me and Randy first started RevolutioniZe, me and him were the only employees. We were the two nutritionists. Yeah. So what happened over time as we grew and got employees, me and Randy unfortunately got further and further away from the general clients. So we used to work with everybody, whether you were a competitor or just a day-to-day lifestyle nutrition person. Eventually, we became to just working with the athletes. So whether you're a bodybuilder, powerlifter, UFC, we work with UFC fighters. We've helped some of the WWE fighters also.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, so we've had some pretty cool, we've worked with some like the Real Housewives of New Jersey, like all that stuff. We started getting away from the general clientele. So when we moved to the new facility was large enough that we were able to get in front of all the clients again, because nobody knew who Randy and Michele was anymore. And I don't like that. Like, I want to meet my people. I do. Mm-hmm. So we started having in-house seminars at RevolutioniZe. So that originally started, we go out to gyms, we go out to schools, we work with all of the police departments, the fire departments, first aid, and we do seminars for them. And I'm thinking, I'm like, we do seminars for all of these professionals. Like, why don't we do seminars for our own people? Mm-hmm. So we started having once a month hot topic seminars where all of our members, if they wanted to, can come to our facility. We had to max it out. Our biggest one was 80 people, though. We had to max it out because we didn't have enough room in our facility. That was our mental health seminar. That was a huge one. Oh, wow. Yeah, it was crazy awesome. But we had to max it out at 80 people. So unfortunately, we couldn't get in front of everybody, but we would film it and post it on YouTube for everybody who couldn't make it. They could watch it. Then COVID happened and we weren't able to do that anymore. But those seminars were really awesome for us to do and to be able to truly meet everybody and interact. And we're throwing out prizes. Like they're a lot of fun. We have a great time. But the mental health seminar was a big one. Like I was saying before, nutrition and mental health are very, very closely related. They are related. And so what happened, we had a therapist come in and she did a whole mental health thing. And all of a sudden, people in our audience, mostly men, started opening up about all of their mental health battles. And it started with Randy. Randy opened up about his struggles. Then David held one of our clients. He opened up about his son who committed suicide. And we actually raised money for that. It went towards the JED Foundation to help help awareness in mental health and suicide. And then we had a few police officers who work up in Sayreville. They came out and they opened up about the mental health battles that they have and how they're trying to start a whole mental health help and support for all of the police departments, fire departments, first aid responders, because they face and battle so much every day and don't know how to deal with it. The suicide rate is just increasing so high, and it's especially bad right now during this time. So we've been trying to put as much help out there and support out there for people not only struggling with nutrition, but also mental health. And people know I'm not certified in any way as a mental health expert, but I'm here to provide resources and connections and to be the best support that I can be for people who may be struggling. So it's been cool how our evolution, what started as fitness, went to nutrition, and what is starting to help people in mental health as well. It's pretty neat.
Oh, that's beautiful, man.
That was nice.
Thanks. Thank you.
I think my only question is it's more for, it's for me mainly, but I want just everybody to know generally what exactly, if you can elaborate, what is flexible dieting, so I can kind of understand it.
Yeah, so I'll try to put it in like a few different ways. So when we do flexible dieting, we don't focus on good food, bad food. We just focus on food, all right? And we focus on macronutrients. Your macronutrients are your proteins, fats, and carbs. This is the stuff that you will learn on your first day of a nutrition class. It's not a RevolutioniZe thing. It is just a science nutrition thing. And we teach people how to track their food, to know how much food that they're eating, and to know that they're not restricted from any food sources. We work with the foods that you like, the foods that you enjoy. You can eat the same thing every day, or you can change the food you want every day. Whatever you like, we work with your personality. We work with the foods that you like. We work with your scheduling. For instance, everybody's like, you must eat 6 meals a day. we have people that we work with that are surgeons, and they're in surgery for 12 hours at a time. They might have a breakfast and a dinner, but as long as they hit their macronutrient needs by the end of the day, they still have the same exact result as far as fat loss goes. So a lot of the stuff we talk about pertains to fat loss, not a lot of other aspects of nutrition. When it comes to staying satiated, staying full, staying focused, yes, you're going to have to pace out your meals differently. But again, we structure all your nutrition based on what your specific goal is. So fat loss, muscle gain, performance, focus, it'll change depending on what our primary goals are. Most of the time, a lot of those things are all taken care of at the same time, but But yeah, so we get to work with all lifestyles. If you're a vegetarian, if you like to eat hamburgers, we work with that. We're not here to change anybody's lifestyle completely. We're just here to modify it.
That's great.
That is amazing.
It's fun.
It just builds enjoyment for what you do and what they do. And maybe kind of like strict out of diet, people kind of refrain from that.
I mean, think about dieting. Like, dieting sucks. If you hear somebody on a diet, it's like, oh, I bet you can't eat this. Like, actually, with us, you can. So we have clients, they go, my friends were goofing with me the other day, and they said, I bet you can't eat this cake. And she replied, actually, I can. And she sat and ate her cake on her quote-unquote diet, and her friends were like, what? I don't get it. So we're not sitting here saying eat ice cream and cake and Pop-Tarts. No, we're not saying that at all. You have to have your whole foods, your micronutrient dense foods, getting all your vitamins and minerals. But the point is, if you want to have a cookie, you can have a cookie without feeling like you messed up or sabotage yourself or say, F it, I'm done. There is such thing as a middle ground and still being able to hit all of your goals without going crazy. So that's the beauty. What's that?
I definitely love that, because I feel like people they think about, I need to diet, and all they think about is dieting, and it's like, you can just live your life and still, lose weight, still gain weight, still do so much, but they think that they have to think one certain way, and they lose their path along as they're going that way. So I like the fact that you guys are really just stressing, like, look, just eat food.
Eat food. I mean, I know a lot of people that eat totally, let's throw buzzwords, clean, organic, healthy, and they gain weight because they're eating unlimited amounts of those things. So if you're calorically not in a deficit or at maintenance, you're gonna gain weight, even though you're eating nothing but healthy food. It's hashtag science. And in addition to that, like, I tell people this also, I go, everything in this day and age here in America, everything is supersized. So if you go get a brownie from 7-Eleven, the thing is the size of your face. If you go get a donut from Dunkin' Donuts, it's 3 times as large as it used to be back in the 90s. Bagels are 3 or 4 times larger than they used to be in the 80s and 90s. So what I tell people to do, I go, you can have it, but sometimes I say, all right, what would this look like if it was the year 1985, right? And I just split it in half. And instead of having this ginormous piece, I'll have half of it. And I put the other half away for later. I'll give it to Randy or whatever. So I can still have that 7-Eleven brownie, but not eat it being the size of my face, and still be able to satisfy my craving and not feel restricted. And that's what's been cool about competing is every competitor out there, they're like, oh, I can't wait till the show is done. I'm going to eat a donut. And I'm like, yo, I ate a donut yesterday. I'm good. So I get through these shows. I get lean. I hit my goals. I win the show. And afterwards, I don't find myself binging or splurging on anything. All I want after a show is some water, a salty steak, and I'm good, because I was never restricted to begin with. So that's pretty cool too.
Well, that's good, because you're literally teaching people how to build like healthy relationships with food.
It's all healthy relationships with food. It's not even like when I'm on prep, I'm not sitting there like, oh, I'm eating a donut. I'm not, like, no, I'm eating a piece of a donut. Like, I'm good. I don't know. People are so, I don't know.
It's the old school mentality. It's the old school mentality that people just have to learn how to get out of. And on top of that, just like a lot of things that's pushed to the masses anyway.
Yeah, so everybody's just very extreme. The extremes, that's where you run into trouble. I can just figure out, I can be like, I had a piece of a brownie. I'm good. It's cool. Chill. Everybody chill the F out, And they're like, oh, I get it now. It's the extremists that put a bad name on everything. Even like in the IIFYM community, that if it fits your macros, the extremists are not posting pictures of their chicken and broccoli online. The posting pictures of Pop-Tarts.
Mm-hmm.
So everybody goes, oh, they're only eating Pop-Tarts. I'm like, no, if you were only eating Pop-Tarts, you wouldn't hit your macronutrient goals for the day. It would be literally impossible. But it's more exciting to post pictures of cake than it is to post a picture of chicken. So again, it's just extremists, and it's people trying to, pick and choose what they want to show online and pick and choose what they want to absorb from reading online.
Yeah, and that way of thinking and that mentality teaches you sustainability for long term, because that's what we really need anyway.
Sustainability, and that's the number one thing that we tell people. It's sustainability, lifelong education, and not falling through these phases. I'm in a diet, or on a diet, I'm off a diet, or I'm in the phase, I'm off the phase. No, it's life. It's sustainability and just finding that balance and a healthy relationship with food, for sure.
Absolutely.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I think that's a great way to end it. Terrence, do you want to do the outro?
That's all you, Ed. That's all you. I don't want Marcus to cut me off.
Yeah, and if anybody, I'll cut you off. So, and if anybody's interested, again, Revolutionize Nutrition. We're in Manalapan, New Jersey. Our website is revolutionizusa.com. We're very active on social media. We put so much free content out there. There's blogs on our website, and on our Instagram, we're at RevolutionizeUSA, and on our Facebook, it's Revolutionize Nutrition. We have a Revolutionize Nutrition YouTube channel. Again, so much free content out there for everybody. You do not have to be a member. We're just here to, like I said, revolutionize the industry and help people develop a healthy relationship with their food, their bodies, and their minds, and kick some ass.
That's awesome.
Yes.
So not only does she does everything, she gives everything. The only thing she doesn't do is fly, apparently. If that
I'm working on it. I went skydiving. Does that count?
Yeah,
skydiving is fun.
So she flies.
I went skydiving.
What doesn't she do? But thank you so much, Michele. This was an awesome talk.
Thanks, man. I really appreciate you guys having us.
Yeah, thank you, man.
Of course.
Thank you.
All right,
hopefully we see each other in the gym soon.
Yes, sir. I will be there ready to rock. If you see me, I have a very bad attention span, so come behind me and slap me in the head. I'll be like, hey. Otherwise, I probably won't even see what's going on around me.
Sorry, I'm one of those weird workout faces that she claims in pictures and shit.
Wait, hold on. That video of people deadlifting, the deadlift pictures. How did I not see it sooner? And the music, I was crying. I'm like, this is freaking hilarious. That was brilliant. Well done.
Well, I appreciate that. It's on my Instagram if you guys want to look at it.
It was
I'll
good.
look at that.
I'll look at that one. I have to look at that one. Definitely look at that.
It's great. I couldn't stop watching it. I'm like, the faces.
So Instagram was giving me shit for a minute trying to post it up, but I finally got it up there.
I'm glad you did. It made me laugh.
All right, awesome. All right, so now this is for the viewers. We appreciate all your support. Again, thank you, Michele, for being here. Okay.
Thanks,
all right, you can catch this will be up tomorrow, on Friday around 12 o'clock. All right. And I'll see all you guys soon. And good luck with everything. All right, Michele.
Thank you so much, guys.
Everything. Okay.
Thank you.
I'll talk to you guys soon. All right.
Stay well,
Have a good
guys.
night, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.